Hello YouTube, Empathy Relics here, and today I'm bringing you guys a commentary. The gameplay that you're watching is a 3v4 hardpoint game in arena. Our teammate didn't spawn in and then got kicked, I believe, or may have just left. And left us in a 3v4 on evac. Luckily we're in a party of 3, I wasn't playing solo. Otherwise this probably would have been a loss. And yeah, so our teammate he protected the mothership and picked some weird specialist and then just decided not to spawn in. And it left us in a 3 versus 4, and Hardpoint is, in my opinion, one of the harder game modes to win in a 3v4. So if you've played arena or league play or ranked play or any form of competitive before, the chances are you've been in a 3 versus 4 situation. And you'd know that they're very, very tough and a lot of things have to go your way. And a lot of things did go our way in this game. Luckily, the other team was pretty bad. I think one of them might have been really bad. I can't quite remember their scores, but they weren't very good because we did end up winning. But it was lucky because honestly didn't think we were too much of a chance of winning this game, especially since I had a really rough start. Because when you're playing 3v4, you know, I'd say the search is probably the easiest game mode to win, because all it takes is one player going off and a couple of players, you know, just going even really, and you should win the game as long as you trade effectively and clutch up when you need to. And CTF's also probably the second easiest. Not that it's easy, but if the other team's really, really bad, like, you can make up the numbers in CTF a bit easier. But Hardpoint and Uplink are very, very hard. I'd say Uplink's just about impossible. It's a lot more difficult than CTF because the ball carrier is basically useless. So every time you want to score points, it's basically a 2v4 with the slang. So that's very difficult. And Hardpoint's very difficult as well. In 3 versus 4s and Hardpoint, you really need to rotate early and make sure you can hold as much time as you can. So as you guys will be watching at the moment, I have a really rough start. I'm 5 and 7. I think I'm go like 6 and 9 at one point, which is really awful, and it's uncharacteristic because generally when we play Hardpoint, I'm kind of the main slayer, and I think that was my problem. I wasn't slaying enough. I was worried about holding spawns a little bit too much, and I was worried, you know, not really getting involved in the hill, which is my normal playstyle. I like to play in and around the hill and push the hill out, which is a playstyle I've kind of adapted just in this game, because generally when I play arena, I'm playing with friends, and I am the best player out of my friends, so I kind of have to take that main SMG slaying role. But here's when I start to turn it around a little bit. That 2-piece kind of, you know, gave me some confidence, because before I wasn't really winning gunfights and I was just getting a little bit unlucky and not playing too good either. But that 2-piece, you know, gave me a little bit of confidence to try and bring home this victory. So luckily, my teammates both did a very good job. I was playing with Jazza and Dark. Dark dropped the 40 bomb, as did I. And I think Jared just went even, but he was doing his job in the hills, which is fine. And honestly think if we got any other map that we probably wouldn't have won for Hardpoint. But Evac's one of my stronger maps for Hardpoint, and it is one of those maps that's kind of dominated by sub play, and that's, you definitely want to be dominating with subs in a 3v4. It's a lot easier when all of you are using subs, because you can just flood hill and try and hold it that way. So I think in this gameplay we did a good job of getting spawns for the second Hardpoint. I think we held it most of the time, and then right at the end we kind of start slipping away, but there's a pretty cool ending. You guys will see that in a second. But I go pretty huge towards the back end of this game because I had a rough start, and it's important that when you have rough starts that you can turn it around. And everyone has rough starts. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. Everyone just has those games where they just don't have a good start. I've started off 1 and 9, I believe, in a Hardpoint once, and somehow went positive. You know, there's multiple reasons for it. You can just be getting unlucky. You can be getting net worried because the online Call of Duty is not the greatest thing out, let's be honest. Or you could just be, you know, playing wrong. Your shot might be a little bit off, and all these little things can affect you, and you can have rough starts. But it's important that you try and turn it around, not worry about the scoreboard too much, and just focus on basically the basics: getting kills, flooding hills, doing your role for the team, and not worrying about, oh, if I hop in hill, I might die here, and it adds another death to my score. So. But luckily, it was a 3v4, and I wasn't really in too much pressure to perform. And I knew I would come back because the people we were versing weren't very good, obviously. If we end up winning a 3v4, they aren't too great. But it's important to make sure you maintain composure. If you're having a rough start, just remember, you're the only person who can turn it around. It's not gonna... If you start off double negative, the only person who can change that is you. So... You don't always have to change up what you're doing. Like, I was using a sub at the start. After doing bad, I could have easily pulled out like a Man of War or any AR class that I had set up, and I could have easily just kind of played more campy with an AR for my stats. But I didn't do that because I knew that would probably end up losing us the game, so I persisted with the sub, and you know, I started slaying a lot more. You'll see it in the back end of the gameplay. I started getting a lot of kills, and yeah, I turned it around, and we probably would have lost if I didn't turn up like I did in the last third of the gameplay, I'd say. So we did a good job in rotating early. Like here, I set up for this hill, and Jared's watching my middle, and Dark's watching this front side. But as you can see, that they're eating a lot of bullets. There's one or two of them that had really good internet. Unfortunately, the very first little bit of the gameplay cut out, and I couldn't be bothered going back in theater just to show you guys one of my deaths, but I got absolutely bullshitted by that Mr. Rage Quit guy. I was like pre-aiming him and got one bursted by the RK5, but what can you do? I have really bad internet, unfortunately, but there's no point in complaining about it. You just gotta persist and just try and rely on your gun skill. So yeah, we go huge. I think what we did really well in this game is work as a team. Nearly in all situations, we were pushing hills together and holding hills together. And if we weren't in a party, if we were just playing like solo with two other random people and that weren't in a party either, we definitely would have lost this game. But good communication and good teamwork definitely helped out. Now here was an important part of the game. I don't know how one of those guys didn't die then, but I'm close to streaks, and getting these streaks is really huge. So I flank here, I play it nice and smart. I don't challenge that guy, and I just back up. I get the 50-point assist. I'm 50 points off a lightning and 100 off a hellstorm, and it's important that I try and get my Cerberus as well, because if you look at the scores are basically neck and neck. I get active camo, I run and heal, and I just try and get my teammates to get the kills so I can get the 100 points for capturing the hard point. I managed to get a 50-point assist and a kill and a capture, which gives me full streaks. So, and I go absolutely huge here, just trying to contest for that little scrap time, give them as minimal amount of time as possible, because every second does count, especially in a 3 versus 4. So here I do a good job holding the spawn. Unfortunately, the guy's psychosis kind of wrecks me, and then they flood through the back. But this is when it starts to get a little bit scary. So we have an 8-point lead that's gone down now, and they start taking the lead on this hill, and it was probably my fault for dying on anchor, but you know, I wasn't really expecting 2 people to push me at once, plus a psychosis as well, because really for the rest of the game they weren't really focused on getting spawns. They were just more flooding the front, and but yeah, it was kind of unlucky. And they get most of this time. I don't know if they get all of the time or if we can test a little bit, but they really started to break away. Like as you can see now, we're down by what, nearly 30 points. So I just rotate and try and get spawns for the next one, which I do end up getting for us. I got streaks, so if they break it, it's not a massive deal. I can just streak them out of it. But The most important thing now is spawns. So they call in a lightning strike, so I'll make sure I don't die from that. And streak kill. And this is where we start going huge. So my lightning strike gets 2 people, kills the Dark also, but since we have spawns, it's no big deal. Unless he was close to streaks, but I don't think he was. And I'm watching the back here. And I get a huge 2-piece from the back. If I were to die there, I would have spawned out. And they would have had good spawns if whoever in the hill with me died. And that was a pretty clutch nade. So I'm close to getting streaks again. So I'm just trying to milk this time in the hill, because we really do need every second. And yeah, teammates going huge in the hill. Jared just gets a massive 2-piece in the hill there. Although if he died and they captured the hard point, I probably would have got streaks again, but that didn't matter. So I call him a Hellstorm, and weirdly enough, I couldn't really see anyone except for that one guy off spawn. But I call out that they're at next, so we only have a 5-point lead. I play nice and slow for my streaks. I get my lightning strike. I don't just dive and heal. I take my time to flank around. Unfortunately, I put the guy one shot. And then, luckily, he jumps out a hill and I get the 100-point capture time. I died off my Cerberus, unfortunately, but I got my Hellstorm, and look how clutch it comes. 4-piece in arena with a Hellstorm. Basically wins. They only needed 7 more seconds, but I killed all 4 of them. Call in my lightning strike and call out that they're all middle and one might be pushing this way. I go to push it, but Dark ends up pushing it and then comes back, and they're just all watching middle. Jared goes big there with a 2-piece. One guy comes back, active camera, and get 2, which is huge. And I call in my lightning strike, and yeah, we end up winning the game by 7 points, I believe. So I went absolutely off in the back end of that gameplay. 45-26, 2 minutes of hill time. We all did great with the hill time, and we all carried our own with the slaying as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. I thought it was really entertaining gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.